If you invested $1 into SafeMoon, is it possible that it can make you $1,000,000? That's the theme of this video. I've done a lot of research into this, and don't go anywhere, guys, because we're going to be going over that here very, very, very soon. First off, if you guys are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. It does help us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Click the bell icon so that you know whenever we have a new video. And after watching this video, if you find it helpful, definitely please feel free to share it. I am on Twitter at CryptoAtlasYT. My handle is right there on the screen. And please keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. So I want to thank SafeMoon Mark for having created the tool to be able to do this kind of a video. I'm not normally a mathematician. For a lot of the stuff he is, and he has a website called safemoonmark.com. You guys can go check that out and be able to use the calculator function to do the same sort of stuff that I made for this video. In addition to that, you can go check out his YouTube channel. It is SafeMoon Mark, and he does have a recent video in which he actually ended up covering how the formula works in order to figure this stuff out. The math explained. So it's SafeMoon Mark's YouTube channel. Title of the video is SafeMoon Tokenomics Math Explained, Mathematical Analysis plus Logical Price Prediction. I will also have a link in the description for that. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this. Please keep in mind, guys, that if you invest more than $1 into something like this, you're obviously going to increase your chances to getting to $1 million faster. A purpose of a video like this is more towards the group of people who don't take any risk at all. If you tell them, what if you just put $5 in? Imagine what it could do. And then those people are the kind, and I know people like that. I've talked to them before. And they say, oh, $5 isn't going to do anything. It's not worth it. It's a waste. It's not going to do anything long term, right? Let's go ahead and prove them wrong with this. Certain things need to take place. So going on into the actual formula for reflections, reflections equals the volume times the number of SafeMoon divided by 2 times 10 to the 16th power, or 20 quadrillion. I already understand that there's only 1 quadrillion total SafeMoon, but please keep in mind you can watch SafeMoon Mark's video of why in the mathematics it actually converts over to that specific variable on the bottom, okay? I'm not going to be covering that in this video. We're focusing on the $1 aspect. So when I made this reference, it was at a price point of $35.42.45 per SafeMoon, which a $1 value would be 282,290 SafeMoon. That's the $1 value. I understand that there's going to be the tax fee, so obviously you need to do like just a little bit more than $1, but this is what a $1 value would be worth. So just keep that in mind. Now, in reference to this, we're going to go ahead and move through these pretty quickly. I did one video and I felt it was way too long, so I'm deciding to remake my whole video again. So if the daily volume is equal to what we had from a previous daily report here, so this is 19.47 million. This was a low daily volume trading, okay? So using that factor right here, it's going to take 50,284 days in order to hit $1 million, or that's about 137.77 years. You're going to be dead before that actually takes place. So is that feasible? No, it's not. And please also keep in mind what I'm referencing right now, at this point in the actual video, is if the daily price stayed at that price. I will later on in the video talk a little bit more about with fluctuations. So that's just in reference to where we're at right now. If the daily volume was higher, right? So let's say it was in reference to, oh, come on. Why is that up? Oh, it's because I still got that one up there. All right. So if the daily volume was on a larger day, which we had a previous day, that was $614 million. So let's go ahead and use that as a reference point. If the daily volume was $614 million, it's going to take you 1,600 days in order to hit $1 million worth, because every day you're earning reflections. And so it's a compound interest. Keep that in mind. That's going to take 4.39 years. So a little bit more realistic. We're still kind of years away with this. So let's go ahead and use a really high number. What if it was $20 billion? Well, if every day in trading for SafeMoon, it was $20 billion worth, it would only take 56 days to hit $1 million, or that's less than 2 months. But keep in mind too, when you have high level of volume of trading in dollars worth like this with a really low price point, you're burning off a ton of tokens, and at a certain point, more than likely, the team who has access to the smart contract would shut off the burning. So that wouldn't be a function anymore, so it's not going to get really, really, really low, okay? So they already mentioned that they have the capabilities of doing something like that. So after a couple years of something like this, with that amount, I mean, we're talking 2 months though, is it possible? Yeah, but it's very, very small. The chances of it are very, very small. Now let's go ahead and take a look at BNB. So if you take a look at BNB here, I'm going to use a couple references here and try and figure out something that's sort of in the middle range. So they had a daily volume of about 1.9 billion. They had another one that was all the way up at 14.4 billion, and then there was another one that was right around 4 billion. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 4 billion figure. It's kind of like a median position or an average position I was seeing across the board here. So let's say we use $4 billion, which we saw with BNB, and I'm using BNB because it has burning mechanics. It's used in exchange for the Binance exchange itself, and SafeMoon is going to be having an exchange coming out, and the blockchain that's being developed, and yada yada, right? So similar functions to degrees, and I think that it's fair to be able to reference this as something to potentially look forward to in the future here. So if the daily volume is $4 billion, it's going to take 252 days to hit $1 million, or that's about 8.4, almost 8.5 months, right? And some things for you guys to keep in mind. I can go ahead and bring this back up here now again. So some things for you to go ahead and keep in mind is that if the dollar volume stays the same but the price goes up, then more days are actually going to be needed. So for example, if you have $19,470,000 in daily volume at 37, before it was 35, right? So I had 35, 42, 45. So now I just made it slightly more, 37, 42, 45 per SafeMoon. You'd actually need 52,912 days, whereas before it was 50,284 days. So you're adding 2,600 days approximately more in order to be able to hit the $1 million. This is because less volume, the number of SafeMoon is actually being traded. Some other things. SafeMoon would need to be $3.55 in order to hit $1 million if you just kept the 282,290 SafeMoon, and that was it. Like you sold your reflections every single day for pennies or whatever, right? And you just kept the 282,290, or you went right back to where you started with. So if SafeMoon hit per SafeMoon $3.55, well, there you go. You hit $1 million. If it hit 100 trillion supply, the market capitalization would equal $355 trillion. That's not realistic. Bitcoin went to about $2 trillion. So we're talking $355 trillion for just SafeMoon. It's not realistic, guys. If SafeMoon hit 100 million supply, which is something that's been hinted at by Thomas, aka Papa, who is the lead developer for SafeMoon. I mean, there's SafeMoon Dev as well, but Papa is the one that's working on the blockchain mechanics, and he's very vocal about a lot of things, and he's hinted that it is possible with this stuff. So if it's possible, we need to factor in what that could kind of equate to. So $355 million would mean it's very realistic. Well, why? Because the current market capitalization for SafeMoon is about $2 billion. So it already exceeds that $355,000 mark that we're talking about with this, right? So that is way, way more feasible. Next thing that we take a look at, if SafeMoon traded 30 days in the same range with low volume, then the balance would only add approximately 2,300 SafeMoon. So you remember that first reference that I had where I said that this was the daily volume report and it was really low? So I used that dollar amount. And so that's only going to be about 2,300 SafeMoon added after a full month. And the price is still going to be around $1. Same thing if we did 30 days. With a higher level volume, the highest point that we have for SafeMoon as of on record at the time when we make in the video, then that would be about 83,000 SafeMoon. So you would be making, with a higher daily level of volume, way more SafeMoon, which makes sense because of the burning reflections is based on trading volume, right? So please keep that in mind. Although the price would still be around $1. You would have more SafeMoon though. Some other things to keep in mind. If you take a look at the market capitalization for BNB, which BNB has a market capitalization right around $52.6 billion as of the time I'm making this video. So if it has 100 trillion SafeMoon supply, the price per SafeMoon would be 0.000526. You're going to need 1.9 trillion SafeMoon in order to have $1 million at that point. So that's way more than the 282,000 that we just referenced, right? That's 673,370% of an increase in reflections over time for you to be able to hit. It's not realistic. That is not realistic with a starting point of $282,000, or sorry, 282,290 SafeMoon, which you only invested $1 in at that point in time, right? However, what if we made it 100 million SafeMoon supply? Once again, referencing to the potential of what it was referenced from Thomas, aka Papa. So at 100 million SafeMoon supply, well, each SafeMoon would be worth $526. Again, if SafeMoon had the same market capitalization as BNB. Well, you would only need 1,901.14 SafeMoon in order to have $1 million worth of value. That's 0.68% of the original amount, this 282,000. I mean, you'd be a millionaire many times folded over if that was to take place, and that would actually be very realistic, right? So then the next thing that we got going on here is, what if the SafeMoon market cap was 1 trillion total supply? At 1 trillion total supply, it'd be about 5 cents per SafeMoon, or 0.0526. You're going to need to have 19 million approximately SafeMoon in order to hit $1 million, which is quite a bit more than the 282,290 SafeMoon. That's a 6,635% increase. Now, keep in mind, it's a compounding increase, so I would say that this is semi-realistic. It's semi-realistic to happen, but you would have to have a good amount of time take place. The SafeMoon price would have to kind of hang down low for a while for one reason or another. Maybe there's whales that are continuing to sell off during the early stages, but volume's kicking up and there's more use cases for things, and it's just kind of a short-term pain in the butt for whatever reason. So higher level of trading volume is much easier at really low prices. So it's a godsend to have early adopting moments like this. If you guys are watching this video and you're thinking about getting in, this is the kind of time that you put $1 in and let it ride, right? If it's already at a penny and you put $1 in, the chances of that going to $1 million dramatically goes down unless significant factors change. And that is thinking way too far in the future. Too many things could take place. I'm not going to go down that road, okay? So another thing to take a look at is if the SafeMoon market cap was, once again, the same. For the amount of SafeMoon that we have here, so like as if you just basically earned a little bit of reflections and that was it, it's about the same. You would need 150 billion total supply of SafeMoon, and at that point each SafeMoon would be worth $3.51. So that gives you 285,714 SafeMoon needed in order to hit the $1 million count. That's realistic. I could totally see something like that happening, but there are some other things that you really need to factor in too, okay? So first off, the 100 million supply opens up a lot of possibilities. The 100 million supply is likely to affect all other total amounts and reduce across the board. What do I mean by that? So if we can drop it down to 100 million supply, how is that possible if one person has, say, 101 million supply, or 101 million in possession of SafeMoon? Well, you automatically already have more than what the total amount could be, so that's unfeasible. You need to have something built in that can reduce the total amount of supply across the board for everybody, including people that lost their wallets per se. And by doing so, your amount, the 282,290 SafeMoon that you have, would more than likely also be impacted, meaning that you would have less of that amount of SafeMoon, and then that would make it a little bit more difficult. So just please keep that in mind. Best case scenario, if SafeMoon's price increases, then the daily volume of dollars needs to increase as well. Those go hand in hand, right? You need both to actually work together in order for that to take place. Best case scenario is the price stays low while high daily trading volume, as I mentioned just a little bit ago. You burn way faster, you get more reflections, and then when the price decides to move, it takes less energy, it takes less demand in order to be able to do that, to get the price to move. Based on SafeMoon's example, for $1, a 150 billion SafeMoon supply with the amount of SafeMoon that I referenced here would be the most feasible scenario. The question that remains right now is how low will the total supply actually go? And that's a big unanswered question. So to summarize everything up, guys, is it possible to get $1 million with a $1 investment right around now, as of the time of making this video, in SafeMoon? And the answer is yes. Certain things would need to play out, though. Is it realistic? I mean, kind of. Again, you have to have some significant things take place. We're still early in the stages here. We have to see how stuff continues to evolve. So it shouldn't be expected if you're putting $1 in and you're like, I'm good, right? You could always invest more to increase your chances of hitting that $1 million goal. And I can't stress that enough. The more that you invest in, obviously you're taking more of a risk, but the chances of you getting to, say, $1 million, it goes up. Risk-reward ratio for this stuff. But if people are like, I'm not going to invest anything because it's not worth it, I don't know, it's like, well, that's the point of this video, guys, is that anything is better than nothing. Imagine the best case scenario with this. With $1, it would be huge. It could be life-changing for people. So I'm not a financial advisor. It's your own risk. You guys go do your own research. Again, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button, click the bell icon so that you know whenever we have a new video. Feel free to share this video with other people if you think people are going to find it to be valuable. And I'm on Twitter at CryptoAtlasYT. Referral links in the description for free cryptocurrencies and free stocks. You guys can support my channel by using those reference links, and you get some nice, beautiful stuff out of it too, right? So thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.